Alright, so this is video 2 about Vincent's eyes. Um, Today I got some new information, but we still don't know much. I was going around trying to collect their Can Be Healthies and shot records for school. So I stopped by the doctor's office and asked them if they had heard anything from Children's Mercy. And they stated that they had printed one paper off that was in the computer system, and it was from our test that we had last week on the eyes. And so this piece of paper kind of conflicts with what we've been told. When we first started all of this, there were concerns about retinitis pigmentosus. And the major concern is that my uncle was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosus and is legally blind. But every eye doctor that's looked at Vincent's eyes has said that he's not showing the signs and symptoms of retinitis pigmentosus. If anything, they've said that it's more like a cone dystrophy. So I have the results here. They printed them off for me, and on this it says suspected diagnosis retinitis pigmentosus. If you don't know what it is a genetic eye disease, and it is very rare. Most children that do get retinitis pigmentosus go fully blind by the time they are 40 years of age. And you often see retinitis pigmentosus more in elderly people, around the age 60 to 70 years old. They develop the retinitis pigmentosus and their vision gets worse and often leads to blindness. My grandmother had that, and I think my great-grandmother had it as well. So it is something that does run in the family. There are some signs that are similar to what he is going through, such as the night blindness that's going on. Doing all the research that I have, I know it doesn't give a lot of details. I've read this stuff in a lot of my anatomy books that I've done for school, but it appears that it is much different with rods and cones involved. Retinitis pigmentosus is a I don't want to say deformation, but it is kind of like a in the back of your eye, the back wall of your eye, it's kind of where it's messed up back there, and that leads to retinitis pigmentosus. It's often a mutated gene, and the fact that it is rare, what's even more rare, is that, like my children, being a mother whose family it runs in, only have a 50% chance of gaining that gene from me. So it's even more rare because it doesn't run in both my side of the family and the father's side of the family. So right now we still don't have answers. I've called Children's Mercy last week. I called them again this week. I'm trying to get a hold of the doctor to find out what's going on. Do we have a diagnosis? Are we for sure that it's RP? Are we looking more at, cone dystrophy? Like, what are our next steps? I figure after this testing was done, they'd call, they would care that, hey, you have a worrying mom sitting over here waiting to see what's going to happen. But I can't get anybody to respond. So my goal right now is I'm going to keep blowing up their phones. It's not fair to my child. It's not fair to us to sit here and wait and not have a goal, not have a plan, not have a course of action. We can do genetic testing. Obviously, we opted for that immediately when we heard about it, but the downfall is that they only run one clinic a month, and they're completely booked until September. During that clinic, myself and my uncle are going to be going up. We're going to be getting tested since it runs on my side of the family, and that may give us some answers, but again, we don't know. We don't know what the answers are going to be. So right now, Vincent can see, he's still playing. We've been talking about this since we found out the results, and like I said, you just got to go one day at a time. We're looking into the Braille so that we can take Braille as a family, like I had said in my previous video. He should start therapy shortly after school begins. He'll be starting 2nd grade this year. He's very smart. He's reading at a 5th grade level. And I've also emailed the school. We're going to put a 504 plan in place. And for anybody out there that has a child with a disability, this includes visual, step up, be their educational advocate. Don't let anything be dismissed. This process has been going on for approximately 2 years is how long he's been failing, and we've been going back and forth. And last year we had Vincent come home from school upset, always having his card pulled, getting in trouble, and towards the end of the year is when we found out that he finally said that he couldn't see the board and he was getting in trouble for asking people questions. And so his disability has caused some issues in schools with teachers and us just frankly not knowing. Vincent is a sensitive kid, so he's not the first one to step up and say, "Hey mom, I couldn't see, so I had to ask my neighbor what was going on." Being a social worker, I'm used to the educational advocate portion of it. So as soon as I found out, I was on the phone with the principal, with the school psychologist, complaining and being that mom. But the only advice I can give to you is press for answers. Continue to take your child. They always have this saying that a mother knows best. When my son started failing the eye exams is when I started asking more questions. I started pressuring them to send us to specialists like Children's Mercy. And with my son's type of insurance, they do not cover like regular optometry visits, so like regular eye exams, but they will cover the medical portion of it, unless there's a referral. So I went as far as going to my child's doctor and saying, "Hey, look, this is what's going on, and I need a referral from you because I want to go to the best person that there is." And I actually had them send me the letter from the eye doctor that they sent to the primary care doctor, and in it, the optometrist said, "Mother feels that she has to have this referral, but I don't think that's the case." So medical professionals are not always going to be on your side. And they're not there to be your friends. They're there to help your child. And if I wouldn't have fought as hard as I did, he may not have went to Children's Mercy, which in my opinion is one of the best, even though I'm kind of irritated that they're not calling me back. So advocate, advocate, advocate. Spread the word. I'll keep posting these videos as I find out more. I'm really hoping the doctors call me back so we can discuss in further details. But right now, that's the results I have. Feel free to ask questions.